Hey physics kids, this is Mr. Gloy coming at you here. Hey, today I'm going to walk you through lab number 4. This is using uh, light detecting resistor, creating a night light. We're on tinkercad. And so I'm in my student account here. Again, you're going to have to go into the course with the course number and get your files up here. You want to go in again into a new file, call it lab number 4 or something along these lines. And so the idea in this activity, I'll have a handout for you or a Google form for you, and in this activity we're going to be using a little what's called a LDR, light detecting resistor. Those are also called photo resistors. And in reality, when you get one of these night lights, when it gets kind of dark, then that resistor then will sense that darkness, and then the light will come on. And this sheet kind of gave you a little information on how this all works. And we're going to be using the schematic here to build this again on tinkercad. So I'm going to slide this over to my other monitor, and I'll be kind of looking at my other monitor as we go through and build this circuit. Be a few new things we'll be putting into this circuit that we haven't used before. Not too hard of a circuit to build. So let's start with our breadboard, and let's put one of those on. That's a pretty good place. And for this circuit we'll need a 9-volt battery. So battery. Oops, I gotta spell it right though. Okay, there's our 9-volt battery. I'm just going to slide it right here. We've got a positive, so I'm going to wire up the positive rail on the bottom. And again, I always like to electrify both top and bottom of the rail. So that basically electrifies my positive. Let me slide a negative wire here. And then let me take a wire from the negative down to the negative here. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's just check everything. Okay, looks pretty good. Now let's put in our 555. Again, that's our timing chip. Let's just put it right in here, I guess. It's a good place for it. Remember, we have 8 pins on this. We start numbering here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to start with the schematic here. Pin 1, I need a wire to ground. Okay. Pin 1, wire to ground. Pin 2, I've got two things coming off of pin 2. I've got the photo resistor, the LDR, and I also have a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to feed a wire over here, and that'll give me some space to put some of that stuff here. So let's find that photoresistor. If you put LDR in, it's not going to find it, so you need to type in photoresistor. Oops, did it come on over? There we go. Now this photoresistor again has 2 terminals. Like any other resistor, it's nonpolar, so we don't have to worry about pluses and minuses here. So I'm gonna put one here, so it's electrically contacting here, and then the other lead goes to the positive rail. So I'm just going to put a short wire to the positive rail. Okay, there we have it. And we also have a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor. And so let's type in resistor. And there we go. Okay, so let's make sure it's at 4.7. So 4.7 kilo ohm. And I think I'll spin that. Again, we can spin things by clicking on that and then just clicking R. So I'm just going to put it right here. So again, it's electrically contacting here, this wire, which is really going into pin 2. And so I need then, from the other terminal of the resistor, I need to connect it to the negative rail. Okay, pin 3. So let's take pin 3 and let's create a wire over here. This will be this pin 3 then. This wire, we want a 470 ohm resistor. So let's change that to 470. Now make sure it's 470 ohms and not kilo ohms. And again, I'm going to spin that thing. So I'm just going to put it maybe right there. So these are electrically touching. And then I need an LED. Okay, so let's bring that over here. And there's your cathode and anode. And we want the anode, the positive, to go right here. So I think I'm going to spin that around. And so there's the anode. So I'm going to plug that in right here. So there's the anode. There's the cathode. And we need then another wire going from the cathode to the negative rail. Okay, there's that. Okay. Finally, on the bottom of the 555, I need a wire going from 4 to the hot rail. Okay, it looks like I've got everything hooked up now on the bottom of the 555. Let's go now to pin number 5. We need a 100 microfarad capacitor. So that's going to be an electrolytic capacitor. So there's that. Remember, we have a negative and we have a positive. The negative is this blue line here. That's telling us what the negative is. And the capacitor, again, is 100 microfarads. And I like to just keep it up here. It seems a little bit easier. And we need a wire then from number 5. And I think what I'll do is I'll rotate this. Let me see. No, I don't think I have to rotate that around. I don't think. So I want a wire from 5 to the positive terminal. Okay. And then I need a wire from the negative terminal to the negative rail. Okay, so we've got that capacitor. Now on the sheet here, the schematic, we need 6 and 7 of the 555 connected together. So I'm going to put a short wire between 6 and 7. Okay, then we need another wire coming off of 6 into 100 nanofarad. That's what that NF means on the schematic. Now, a nanofarad capacitor is going to be the ceramic one. So again, here's the ceramic capacitor. 100 nanofarad, there it is. It's already in the right amount. And a ceramic capacitor is nonpolar, so it doesn't really matter the terminals. That's what makes this type of capacitor a little different than the electrolytic one. And so I want a wire from 6 then. Okay, there's 5 and 6, a wire from 6 into one terminal. And then I need then the other terminal going to ground, going to my negative rail. Okay, there we go. Now I need another resistor. So I'm now dealing with pin 7. So I need another resistor. Let's grab it. Now this resistor is a 330 ohm resistor. So let's make sure we're right there. 330 ohm. And let me go ahead and spin that too. Okay. And we want a wire coming from 7 into one of the terminals. So there's 7. Okay, oops. And then the other wire going into the hot rail, or the positive rail. Okay. Finally, we need a wire coming from pin 8 of the 555. Pin 8 coming up to the hot rail. Okay. That looks like we got everything hooked in, don't we? Well, let's start the simulation here. You might say, well, how are we going to get it dark to make the LED come on? Well, if we click if we click this, we have the slider bar. Click the photo resistor, we get the slider bar. And here it's simulating daylight, so you can see that the LED is not on. When I go to dark, the LED does come on. Now that's kind of hard to see, that LED. Might be better if we changed it. Let's change it to maybe a white. So off, okay, off, on. All right. So there's kind of how that little nightlight would work. Again, they would have all this stuff probably put onto a very small circuit board, put into your nightlight, and when it gets dark, we're powering up that LED. When it gets light out enough, I don't know, about halfway maybe or so, it gets light out, then the LED is not activated. So there's that circuit. So now what you need to do once you get it built is go back, click on that tinkercad thing icon, and it'll show your name and then that circuit you just built. And so what I want you to do is take a kind of a screenshot. So I'm going to screenshot my name and then that circuit. And you can put that into your checkpoint. That sound good, kids? Hey, that was a pretty fun circuit. Not too hard, was it? Talk to you later, kids. Bye.